With fall right around the corner, I wanted to use the colors and smells of the season in a melt and pour soap project to prep us for the holiday gifting. These bars are inspired by our version of Bath & Body Works Autumn Fragrance Oil. I'm Katie with AFI, and keep watching to find out how to make your own autumn leaf soap. Start by making the leaf shape embeds. For this, you'll need a column mold like this one. It makes a long log of soap that looks like individual shapes when the individual bars are cut. You can find column molds in tons of shapes. I got this one on Amazon. Measure out 3.5 ounces of clear glycerin soap base and melt it down in 30-second intervals in the microwave or over a double boiler. Give it a stir between each interval to prevent scorching or boiling, and once there's no solid soap left, add in 0.1 ounce of Our Take on Autumn by BBW. Stir thoroughly and add in 3 drops of yellow liquid soap dye. To keep the leaves transparent, stick with liquid dyes over mica powders, which will turn the base opaque. Make sure the column mold is tightly sealed and propped up in a cup to fill it with the soap base. After about half an hour, the soap should be solid enough to carefully peel out of the mold. Repeat these steps 2 more times with the rest of the glycerin base, using a 3% fragrance concentration for each. I made a dark orange leaf, a light orange leaf, and a yellow leaf. Trim them so they'll fit in the soap loaf mold and set them aside for now. Grab your shea butter soap base and weigh out 8 ounces to create the first layer of the soap. Melt it down, add in 0.24 ounces of the autumn fragrance, and pour it into the loaf mold. Give it a generous spritz of isopropyl alcohol and use your thermometer to keep an eye on the temperature as it cools. Before placing in the first leaf, it's important to let the temperature drop to 125 degrees Fahrenheit or lower so that it doesn't melt the embed. Once it's cooled, give it another spray of alcohol and nestle the dark orange leaf towards one side of the mold. When the first layer of shea butter has formed into a thick film on the surface, prepare another 16 ounces of the shea butter soap. Stir in 0.48 ounces of fragrance and let it fall to 125 degrees or lower before pouring into the mold, finishing it off with a couple sprays of rubbing alcohol. Once the second pour has hardened on the surface, spray it with more isopropyl and place the light orange leaf on the opposite side of the dark orange leaf. Hold it in place with your hands for a moment and to make sure it stays in place. As it continues to solidify, melt down the last 16 ounces of shea butter base and add in the rest of the fragrance oil. Give everything in the mold a couple more spritz of isopropyl and top it off with the melted soap. Let the last pour develop a thin film across the top. Spray with isopropyl and place the yellow leaf embed along one side of the mold about halfway into soap. Hold it in place for a moment while the shea butter base solidifies around it and finish the bars with a final spray of isopropyl alcohol before giving it 2 hours to fully cool to room temperature. I'm really happy with how these bars turned out, and I think they really do the fragrance justice. Our version of Autumn by Bath & Body Works is a great fall scent that really captures the mood of the season, and it performs great in candles and melt and pour soap. Leave any questions you might have about this project in the comments, and don't forget to tag us on our socials if you make it for yourself. I'm so glad you got to join me for today's how-to, and I'm excited to see y'all in the next one. Leave us a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and stay tuned. Bye, Fragrance fam!